Hey folks, it's Pat here. Welcome back to my train channel. Welcome back to the Midland. Tonight we're going to do an operating session. So this will be a slightly different type of video, a little bit longer format, but we're going to buy and test out a new train tonight. And that's going to start with a new engine. So let's hop in here and I'll show you kind of what I have in mind. And so we have, well here, hang on just a sec. We have quite a bit of money. So I got about 6,500 bucks and some change. And so I want to buy a new engine because I want to build a brand new train here that's going to have a heck of a job. And so this is the one that I want. I want the Porter 2, and I want this one because it's got this tender on it here. And it's still a Porter, and it'll make a good little local locomotive for our lumber local, which is the train that we're going to build here tonight. We're going to be a road locomotive, so I do want a headlight on it. And this is our second locomotive, so it's number 2. So the name, I don't really feel the need to name my locomotives, but I do want my road marks on here. I don't know if this actually shows up, but let's go ahead and buy her. 3,500 bucks, here we go. So, cha-ching, and there she is. And so we're not just going to buy this locomotive, but we're going to buy a whole stick of cars as well. But I do want to move her first. And so let's go ahead and gas her up here. And at least get this fire going so that when we are ready to move, we can buy some cars and get this train going. Come on, you. Come on, close. The door, there we go. So this is a cool looking little engine. This is a stubby little thing. She's got an extra wheel back here, so an extra axle as compared to her sister, the Betsy, which is back in our yard up that way. So, but we will need some of this. And all we have to do is wait for the steam to come on. And so if you'll bear with me just a minute, we'll jump right to that. Okay, we got our boiler pressure up. Let's take her for a little spin here, shall we? And we're just going to pull ahead up to about here and start buying some cars. So the train that we're going to run tonight is going to be our lumber local. And it'll both originate and terminate in our yard. Well, not tonight. Tonight we'll bring it back down here to the depot and actually sell some things. So, but in the future it'll drop off lumber cars, and so there's like 2 or 3 different types of cargo that it's actually going to carry, and of course they're all going to be wood products. And so tonight we're going to start building a train here. Just on this track, and then we'll grab the cars, pull forward, grab more, and then pull forward. But there's a specific order in which I need to buy these. And so I do want to start getting some of these bulkheads. So I want to get 3 of these, because as soon as I finish the line down to the smelter, I want to start bringing log cars or cordwood cars down there, and those require bulkhead flats like this. And so let's buy 3 of these. 275. We got more than enough money. So let's get another one. 3002 with our reporting marks. Oh, if I can spell. Alright, so that's 2. Let's go ahead and get these guys laced up. So, take that brake off and give me a pin here. And I think I got a pin on here already. Yep, we're good. Alright. So I'm going to get 3 of these because you can only fit 3 of these at the smelter. Now I'm not quite done with the trackage down there just quite yet, although I'm getting there. We've been doing a lot of building, including up to the mine, which you might be able to see. I've got a line kind of back here, and that's going to be eventually the line that goes to the iron mine. I'm doing it a little bit different than some of the other folks on YouTube, but since I'm really picky about grades, I want to try and keep it at a minimum so I can run much longer trains. And that's true for the stuff that's going down to the smelter too. I'm trying to keep that down below 2 degrees on the grade. We'll see if it works. So far it's been working out pretty well. All right, so let's see. Break off, break off. Here we go. Stretch these guys out. Let's see. We got them both? We got them both. So I want these 2 cars, and then I want one more of these and another log car, a flat. And when we get up to the yard here, after we stitch all these cars together, lace this train all up, you'll kind of see what I have in mind for this train in particular. But like I said, this is going to be our lumber local, and so it's pretty much going to stay pretty close to home in the yard. So let's see. The next one that I want is I do want one of these flat cars. And so these are 1000 series cars, and I've got 4 of these. So this will be my 5th one. And so these hold 6, and so 5 of them with 6 logs is 30 logs, which will be enough to keep our log pond pretty full, because we're going to run the log cars every single time we run the cordwood cars as well. And so let's get another one of these so they're in the right order. So this is going to be 3002. No, 3003, right? Yeah. Go ahead and grab that one. Yep, because this is 3001. Nope, get off there. I don't want that. 3002. 3003. Perfect. Let's get a pin in here. Kick your brake off. Lefty loosey. And leave your brake on. Let's get a pin in here. So now, why run a local train? So a local is just a train that starts and finishes its day, ties up in the same place where it started. And so kind of my idea here on the Midland is to run a fairly realistic railroad. And a local typically is a choice job. And so we'll build one here, keeping in mind that it's going to be really important for our entire railroad, because not only is it going to provide lumber, but it'll also provide logs. So, which means that it'll be basically the origin point of our entire railroad for the entire revenue stream. And so, thus it deserves a new engine. Oh, god dang it. Didn't quite make it there. So, shoot. I don't like to bash my cars around too much, especially brand new ones. So, pardon me if I'm being a little patient here with this. This game does require quite a bit of patience, though, especially when you're building. So, but as far as running trains goes, a little bit of patience pays off here too. So I've seen a lot of really clever ways in which people are setting up their tracks and things like that. And so maybe I can give you something a little bit different, something a little bit more realistic, maybe using not just kind of what it is that I know about railroads from being a former railroader once upon a time, galaxy long, long ago, far, far away. So, but also, just because this game gives you so much ability to be able to do things that you don't get a chance to do in a lot of other train games. So, like, I've never played a train game before where you can do all kinds of flat switching, and which was always my favorite part of railroading. But we can kick cars, and we can block out trains, and we can do all kinds of cool stuff in this game that, I mean, some of the train simulators, you get a little bit of that, but like some of my other favorite games like Transport Fever and things like that, you don't get a chance to do any of that stuff. All you do is build consists, which is cool, but it's not quite the same. All right, so the next thing I want 3 more stake cars. And so I've got 6 of these now, so I want a total of 9. And so this one's going to be 2007. All right, there we go. And one more. Yeah. 2009, right? No, 8. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I just can't remember now. Yeah, 2007. So we want 2008. So this is one of those little details that the devs put in here that you can decide whether or not you care about it. So, but since we're going to do something pretty accurate here, I've chosen to care about it. So just bear with me. All right, kick that off. And let's put a pin in here. And let's go ahead and bunch these guys up. And off we go. So, but I've played just about every train game ever since the original Railroad Tycoon came out on my, oh god, what did we have then? Probably a 286 with CGA graphics. I played the heck out of that game. So that one and the first one and the third one, or the second one and the third one. And then there were a few other games in there, but it took us a little while before, let's see, what else was in there? Transport Tycoon, and then, what was the one that was really disappointing? I think it was Sid Meier's Railroads. Wasn't a terrible game. It was just like having a big train set, which is cool. So, but this game here kind of feels like that, but then there's a lot of realistic railroading you can do in this game. And the mods, or I mean, I'm sorry, not the mods, but the devs, I'm convinced that they know a little bit more about trains than they're letting on. So, but that's okay to actually see someone put this kind of attention into a game. So, I mean, just look at the brake shoes on these things. So, like, if these were models, you know, you entered these into a modeling competition, you'd probably win a prize. So, unlike the ones that come out of the box. But, this game has really rekindled my interest in railroad games, which honestly has been kind of down lately. I mean, there's a lot of good simulators out there that are fun to play to a point, but they always seem a little passenger-centric, and I've never really been a fan of passenger trains, at least not as much as freight trains. Because there's so many fun things you can do with freight trains. And they're much harder to run, too. So, I mean, maybe not some of the modern unit trains. You know, those are pretty straightforward. But, as far as games go, passenger trains have always been a little bit, I don't know, bland, as far as I'm concerned. And so, having a game where you actually can do some bona fide route planning, car forwarding, blocking out trains, and not just that, but just actually doing the running yourself is actually pretty freaking cool. And I really like this game. And I hope you're getting a kick out of it too, for some of the same reasons. See, like, this is kind of boring stuff that a lot of people would be like, oh man, that doesn't look fun at all. Can't I just drag and drop cars in? But this is railroading. So, you know, and it feels like it. The trains in this game, they feel good. They feel heavy. So, especially when you get to some of the larger locomotives. So cars, they respond very similarly. And like all these cars are free rolling. None of them have air brakes, which is kind of cool. So even though maybe in the future that'll be part of the game. But like this engine doesn't have an air brake on it. So basically we just run it like it has an independent brake because that's basically all that it has. Which means that you have to be a little bit more careful about in-train forces and stuff like that. And I see a lot of people on the YouTubes who are breaking pins and getting frustrated about it and things like that. But, you know, it's just simple railroading stuff that would actually prevent some of those problems. So, like, put your loads on the head end, you know. But there's a lot of folks who have, like, an adversity to switching out there, and that's okay. I mean, I understand that. In fact, I've seen some pretty clever ways in which people have set up their trackage so that they can avoid as much switching as possible. But I got to tell you, switching is my favorite thing to do. And so we'll definitely be doing some of that. We'll be blocking out some trains in the future. We'll be setting up kind of different consists based upon like the locations and where they're actually going to drop off cars. And so we're set up here. We're going to keep these cars on the head end, and then these cars here are trailing these three stake beds here. There are 6 more up at the yard that I've built that we're going to knuckle into, and we're going to take all this stuff over there and into the lumber mill and then up to the log camp. And so we got a busy day, and so let's go ahead and put a little bit more gas on the fire here, and then we'll whistle off and go. All right, here we go. So, bell, Cox, let's get out of here. Yep, reverser. Let's do about 50, break off. Just roll on out of here. All right, we're departing. Well, she sounds good. Sounds a lot like the other one. We'll see see if she handles the same way. I've heard some folks say that this engine's a little bit heavier. I guess I should have checked that on the stats before I bought it. But she looks a little bit beefier, and I think she's going to serve us well on this lumber local here. And we'll be running a lot. So, because I just spent all of our monies just about. It's going to take a while for us to save up for the next engine, which will be the Mogul. And we're going to use that to start doing mine runs. And so the Mogul will be our mine train. I've played with some of the other engines in this game, including the geared locomotives. And although I think they're cool, I don't foresee myself buying any of those here. Just because they're slow. And so I'd rather run faster, longer trains over shallower grades. Let's see, we're aligned for main track here. We're good. Rather than oh, we're losing boiler pressure. Oh, slowly. Let's see. Let's go ahead and cut this back here a little bit. See, I just threw those logs on the fire. I should have done that and waited a couple of minutes to get my water temperature back up. See how it's slowly coming up, and this is coming up? So, I've never run a steam locomotive, and so I do make mistakes like this from time to time. But, I think, like I said in one of the previous videos, it's awful fun to learn about steam engines. Because, like I said, I've never run one. So, and running diesel units is a lot of fun, but you don't have to worry about all this stuff. So, if it doesn't have gas, you don't leave the yard. If it does have gas, you don't worry about it. You don't worry about gas. Alright, let's open her up here a little bit. So this is just a run from the depot up to the yard. And I've done a little bit more track work on my yard up here just to make it operationally flexible. And so I'll kind of show you what I did in some respects and why things are the way they are. And it's all designed so that my yard here will collect just about every train anywhere on the pike, and they'll originate and terminate here, and then we'll do some flat switching. So we send westbound trains. It's actually northbound, but we're going to call it westbound. So eastbound trains or westbound trains will come in. They'll get broken up here, so and then classified. And then sent on further west. And likewise, eastbound trains come in this way. Same thing. Come into my arrival track here. Get broken up, reclassified, departed to the east. And we'll have a couple through trains that will actually go all the way through here as well. Now let's see. It looks like my switches are lined. That one's lined. This one is lined. And this one is lined. Looks like I'm good. So, it'd be embarrassing to derail my new train. So, we're going to pull out ahead here. So, I built this yard throat right here so that all trains can come up here to the branch. This is the branch that goes up to the sawmill. This is the main line that'll go down to the smelter and eventually up to the coal mine. So, And so regardless of what yard track you come in off of, or what yard track you're building your train on, you can depart either direction, either up the branch, up the main line. Ooh, see, this switch is not lined how I want it to be lined. So I want to go this way, but we got to go get those cars first. Let's go do that. Bounce around here a little bit. So let's see, need to line this way. And so this is the branch line that goes up to the lumber mill right there. Also serves as my switch lead. So when I do any kind of flat switching, I don't have to I won't be fouling the main at all. So that's kind of how you want to set it up whenever you do these things. This switch line, the switch is lined. We're good. So we can just back in here, knuckle up and grab those cars there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come into the lumber mill. We're going to drop off the stake beds. Well, actually, maybe we'll load them while we're here. And then we'll park them there, tie them down, cut loose, and then head on over, grab the rest of the log cars. Here we go. And head up to the log branch. What's going on here? Come on, you. Give her some gas, Tiny. There we go. She seems a little bit slower than her sister. Maybe that's because she's a little bit heavier, or just because the Betsy is so strong. And so we're going to use Betsy as our yard goat. And so Betsy will be doing all the switching in the future. This engine come in, eventually drop cars off, tie down, go over here to the ready track until we're ready to actually run another local. Up to the lumber mill and the log camp. Now the reason why I built the yard here so close to the lumber mill is because the lumber mill is kind of like the nexus. It's where everything, just about every business in the game, every destination requires some kind of lumber product. And so I wanted to make sure that this run was really, really short. And let's see, let's not smash these too hard. Let's give me a little tap. There we go. That'll do. Oh, I forgot to throw that other switch up there. That's okay. We can do that here. Let's see. Where is... There you are. So let's see. We got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh, no, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, we're good. One of these had a brake on. Lefty loosey. Normally you wouldn't have to spin these. There should be a little catch on these. You just click that catch, kick it, and brake will just unspool itself. But that's okay. No worries. Alright, let's head up there slowly, shall we? So here we go. Reverse it forward, brake off. Give me 2 toots and a little bit of gas. Just a wee bit of gas. Maybe a wee bit more. Let's run up there. You moving? Slowly. Maybe just a little bit more. I'll meet you halfway. Let's see. Lined. And so we want to take this right-hand track, which is the one that goes up and around to the lumber docks. This one here goes to the log dump. So we don't want that one. Come on, number 2. Take your time now. We'll wait for you. We'll let the train come to us. Like a railroader would. So yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to get off your train, too, as long as you have your regulator set to a speed where you can catch it on foot. So, but you can do a lot of switching by hand with just one person. And so I've been playing this game solo entirely, and you can do just about anything that you want to do move-wise on your lonesome, as long as you just take it a little bit easy. So, but now we can go ahead and open up a little bit, because we're going to come into the log camp here. So let's let them know we're coming. This one's going to be tricky. We're going to have to actually space this out a little bit. So, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars before my first stake bed. And let's see, it's going to be loading lumber first, and then beams are going to be further to the rear. Here we go, coming on in to the lumber docks here. So I've seen some folks put some really neat trackage in this area, and so that's really cool, and some of you have done really nice job on it. Mine's a little bit minimalistic here, so there's just one track that runs on this side and one track that runs on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and get into this view here, because I don't know how far we're going to have to go. See, last time when I was loading these with 6 cars, I used that piece of track there as something to back into. Because I was usually shoving cars, but now we're dragging, so it'll be a little bit different. So we need to pull up so that this car is even with this crane right here, and then we'll get this just right, and then we'll go ahead and put down a marker so we know where to pull up to in the future. Although, you know what, actually we shouldn't do that because we're not going to have that extra car in there. I think that looks about good. Let's go see. Yeah, that looks about right. And so what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and load this train first. So let's get this all loaded up. And so I got 9 cars, and so I want 3 of lumber and 6 of beams to keep it nice and even Steven. And so here at the lumber mill, these do not line up exactly right. And so I have been trying a couple different ways to do this, and honestly I've just gotten to the point in time where you just kind of eyeball it, and then if you have to make a move, you have to make a move. It ain't the end of the world. So let's see, we'll want to pull forward probably 1. Did that one not load? Sure didn't. There we go. This is part of one of the more tedious aspects of the game, but it's actually kind of fun. So, and yeah, there's ways that you can do it a little bit more efficiently with practice. But this is the first time I've run this train, and so I'm not expecting to be perfect at it. Alright, let's pull forward 1. Roughly. Let's see. Let's zoom out here a little bit so you can see. And let's see. I want that car with this crane. Roughly. Well, actually, no. We want it with this crane, because otherwise we'll miss that car right there. So let's call that 1. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we got it. Jump in here. Go ahead and do that. Oh, I don't know if this guy's going to be able to reach that or not. Hopefully, this guy will be able to reach this one for sure. Let's see. Let's see if this one drops over there. Oh, boo! Got to back her up a little bit. Just a skosh. Like I said, first time I've loaded this train, so a little bit more practice in the future and we'll be alright. So let's see, reverse her that way. Let's just back it up about half car. So right about here. Come on you. Push. Push. Oh, there she goes. Just need a little bit more gas. Alright, that's probably good. Huh? Let's go see. This can be one of the more frustrating things in this game. But Looks like this guy will still load on there, and hopefully this crane can actually reach this car now. So this one might be screwed. You might not be able to get that one. You might waste a beam here. Another one. There we go. That one's good. Let's see. Yep. No, this crane's now useless. So this will take a couple extra minutes, but that's okay. So we'll get them all loaded. I've seen some folks on the Steam forums there asking for, like, why can't we get crane NPCs that actually load this stuff? I was like, come on, man, this is overtime. So if you got to load your own train, you get paid extra. You know that, right? So let's see, 2 more. And then we'll have to do at least 2 more moves. Which is unfortunate. I was hoping to get this done in hopefully 3 moves, but it looks like it'll be a little bit more than that, but that's okay. So this train's going to be worth quite a bit of money, actually. So let's go ahead. What do we want to do? About 3? Come on. Come on, girl. Get low on steam here. Things are starting to cool off a little bit. Let's see. That's probably good, I think. Let's go ahead and throw some more logs on here. That's one of the troubles with loading longer trains, is they do take a little bit of time. And this one, once we get rid of this log car in here, because this is the only time it'll ride with us, because we'll put it over there with the other ones here. We'll get some markers set down here, and then it'll actually, this will go much, much faster. But it looks like I got this one just about right. Let's see. He might be able to load on here. Let's find out. So, yep, we're good. Oh, a little bit too good. That's all right. So let's go ahead and pull forward about 1.5. And that will mean that we can actually get this done in 4 moves. So, I don't know, maybe it's been 5. I think it's been 5 because I had to redo that. I had to pull back a little bit. So anyway, here we go. Oh man, it's really hard to see that. So, alright. A little bit more. I think that might be a little bit too far. Let's go take a look. Oh, we might be good. Might be just right. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Ooh, maybe. Monday needed to go just about another truck. Nope. Nope, we're good. Alright. So just a couple more swings here, and then this car, we're going to tie this car down here. And there we go. And we're going to leave these here for now. We'll pick them up on the way back. So let's go ahead and pull the pin in here. Check my switch up here. Well, actually, we can just, let's go ahead and break off. Verser forward. Let's give her a little bit of gas, not too much. If you hold shift key on this one, you can do this almost one at a time. Let's go up here and check this out. See which way my switch is lined. You know what? I'm going to murder some trees here so I can see what I'm doing. Switch is not lined. So, ooh. Wonder if that actually derails your train. Now let's see, we've already got a pin in the rearmost car. Let's go ahead and hop in here now that our switch is lined. We're going to back in, grab these guys, and head up to the log camp. So this job, let's see. This job should be about a half an hour job altogether, all said and done. But of course, this is our first run, and so it's going to take a little bit longer. But ideally, one of the things that I'd like to do down the road, especially when I get a couple trains that are kind of, and there's like a train order, meaning that, you know, this one has to run, and then we can run a mine train, then we can run one down to the smelter, then we can run one up to the coal mine, so we actually get a sequence going. Then we can actually build a schedule, or at least a timetable, which would be kind of fun. Now, most railroads nowadays, they don't use timetables anymore, although there are exceptions to that. So like on my railroad, we did have a timetable, but the timetable didn't confer any kind of like authority or anything like that, because we technically ran everything as extras. But if we build a schedule, then we can start, you know, running multiple trains. We can start running extras, and then we can start balancing kind of like our car demand. And so my kind of goal here is like, whenever I empty something out, I'm simultaneously filling it up. And so that's why we're going to bring these log cars with us here. Oh, let's not smash into these guys. Easy does it. Easy does it. Getting a little zealous there. Oops, smash. So, car shop's not going to be happy with me. That's okay. There's no knuckles to break here. So, just pins. Let's see. Yep, that one's tied down. All right, we're ready to go. We got 20 logs in the pond. So if we throw in, let's see. So this is 5 cars, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 30 logs that'll go in. And if we take 9 cars out, 9, 6, 18, 18. So actually, over time, we'll have more logs than anything else. So that's exactly how I want it to work out. And of course, these cordwood cars, they're just money for the moment. Eventually, we'll bring them down to the smelter. All right, here we go. So good on fuel, good on water. As a good friend of mine would say. All right, let's head up to the log mill, or the log camp. I did actually increase the trackage up there. I took 5 minutes and ballooned that track out. So we won't actually have to do any reverse moves up there. We can just pull right through the entire thing now. I've seen a lot of other guys do that, and it's a really good move. Because you have a lot of room up there and you can do it. This engine is a little bit more sluggish than the other one. I'm just starting to notice that right now. So, because this is 38%, Betsy would be rocking through this right now. So she is definitely a little bit heavier. Well, that's okay. So I like her because she's very much so double-ended. So I would feel comfortable running this engine in either direction. Whereas if I'm running, if you're running Betsy in reverse, it's kind of scary. It is a little, it's a little suicidal. So this one's not so bad. I feel safer in this engine here. So, but she is a little bit slower. So let's bump this up. About 45. I don't think I have any handbrakes on. But we'll double check when we get up there. So now we'll load the 5 log cars and these three bulkheads here with cordwood. And eventually I'd like to get 6 of these. So, but I think 3 will do for now. Especially since we spent almost all of our money. And I haven't finished the track down to the smelter just quite yet. The smelter is actually a pretty steep climb down. And so it's been a little challenging to find a route where I can keep it down to 2%. And kind of sneak down into the bottom of the smelter's kind of in this gully down there. It's got to be the lowest point on the map, which of course the devs did on purpose, but that's okay. I like the challenge, and if I can get my track down there and keep it less than 2%, we can run heavier, longer trains down there and out of there, which is kind of the idea. So I've seen some folks run ridiculously long trains, 30 cars, 30 plus. And so that's ultimately what I would like to do. Alright, I gotta give the boys a little bit of bell, let them know we're coming. We're approaching platforms, so definitely need to ring the bell. That's the rule. Per the superintendent here on the Midlands. Yours truly. Chief Train Master. Let's see. Let's chug on in here. And this is one where we can actually put down a marker, which is what I want to do. So we want this car even with this crane right here. That's enough bell. Let's go ahead and just slow roll this here. Oh, no. Coming in a little bit fast. Let's do right about there. Let's go take a look. See if we've actually got cranes on two different cars. So with one move, yeah, this one should drop on this one, and this one should drop on this one. Let's see. Yep, we're good. And so this is the ideal number of cars to have. Since I have to make 3 moves, ideally I'd actually want a 6th car on here. Because then we could load 6 cars in 3 moves. And so maybe after the video I'll go buy another one. Because, oh no, we got enough money to buy it. So we still got $1,000. So we'll have even more here in a few minutes. Actually, that's important to note. So 1183. Let's see exactly how much money we make by the end of the video here when we run all the way back down to the freight depot after we drop, of course, these cars off at the log pond, and then of course the other cars at the depot. So yeah, but like I was saying before, it's kind of my goal here to build and run a fairly realistic railroad. I've always enjoyed railroad operations, and particularly when I got the chance to learn quite a bit about it. Kind of opened my eyes to a lot of the things that I thought I knew. And railroads aren't that complicated, so they can be, but most of the time they're actually pretty straightforward. Once you actually kind of learn what it is that you need to do, what it is that you're trying to do, and then all you have to do is figure out the easiest way to do that costs the least amount of money, and that's the railroad way. So, like I see some guys who it's fine, man. It's your railroad, so you do you. But you're building like multi-million-dollar bridges, and laying like tons of iron in the ground, and I guarantee you that our Wall Street masters here on the Midland would not approve any of those things. So, in fact, we'd have to probably fight tooth and nail just for a balloon track right here. So, because the couple capital improvement projects I was involved in on the railroad, you had to have a really strong need for it. You had to have a business case for it. You had to have the engineering folks come in and think about like 5 or 6 different ways to do it, and then of course corporate always go for the cheapest one, if not flat out denial. So oftentimes you were told just to make do with what you had. So let alone actually building things like this. Although I do have to tell you, the engineering folks that I worked with on the railroad were some of the most impressive people there. There was one time in our yard where we built a new fuel rack. That was it had been in the works for a couple of years. But that was just all on paper, basically like, oh, well, we could use it, and then I will think about it, and then it wouldn't happen. And then, the next year is like, oh, well, we could really use this. And we'd be like, we'll think about it, and then it wouldn't happen. And then finally, after, a couple years of that, it just happened, like, overnight. So it was like special crews came in, and, after some approvals and things like that, they came in and knocked it out in like 3 days. It was amazing how fast they worked, and how efficient they were. But that was after all the paperwork, you know, which took years. So, and it was pretty cool to watch him work. So I watched him build a siding once too, to a new customer. And they come in and lay down all the asphalt underneath. Well, they dig up the ground, lay all the asphalt, and then build up the roadbed. And then they used what are called panels in order to build this siding. And panels are basically, I mean, they look like model railroad sections of track. And so they just crane those down and then weld them together. And if it's a siding that's not going to be terribly high traffic, then they can knock it out real quick. Then there's other projects that I got to see there that were pretty interesting. So I got to see the tire replacement train in action. That thing was impressive. So it basically just rips up track and lays down new track right underneath itself. And it's a pain in the butt to feed because it is just a hungry, hungry beast. You got to feed it ties and rail all day long, all day long. It just eats ties and rail. And so you have to run up trains to it. And it was pretty impressive to actually see that thing in action. I can't remember how much it'd lay in a day. It was quite a bit. I don't think it was quite an entire mile or two. But I understand that there were some days where they could really get going on that thing. When I saw it, it was actually moving pretty slow. So, all right, here we go. So we got a balloon track. We're going to go all the way around, and then we're going to load these up, and then we'll be on our way. So, but I've always had a soft spot for steam trains. So, I've ridden just about all of them in my home state. Some of them multiple times, and they're just a hoot. Haha. So, you know, but I mean, like, and some of them are really cool because they give you like the ability to, you know, ride really close to the engine or something like that. And I was always that guy who'd be like on right behind it, like right here, just getting soot in my teeth. So I don't know if they let you do that anymore. So there's a couple, maybe they still have excursion cars on them that are open top. But the last one that I rode, which was like 2 years ago, right before COVID, everything was enclosed. Everything was enclosed. There weren't any open gonds on it, which was unfortunate, but it was still fun. But yeah, no steam trains on the railroads these days. I guess there's a few here and there. Like UP's got a couple. I think most of the major roads have like one or two like museum pieces out there still. And then I hear tale that there's actually a couple freight revenue or railroads that run steam on revenue freight runs, but they're kind of rare. Yeah, I never saw a steam locomotive when I was on the railroad. But that's okay. Oh, speaking of which, we're getting a little low here on steam. Let's go ahead and break this. Let's see. We want to line this car up kind of towards the rear like that. That crane, this crane should get that car, and this crane should get this car. So we should be able to do this in 2 moves. So here we go. Let's throw some logs on the fire because that's getting a little low. So let's see. Hopefully I plan this out right here. And how many do these hold? I think they hold 8. I've never loaded cordwood. Well, actually, no, that's not true. It's just been a while. Where did the things go? Oh, look at that. My track is too damn far. Lame. Yeah. Well, I guess this ain't going to happen today. Oh, look at that. Darn it. All right, well, let's get the hell out of here. I'll have to fix that some other time. So there you go. Fair warning to you. Don't put your track too close to the docks here on this one. I suppose I could actually kick this train back and just fix that real quick. Let me try that. So what time is it? Yeah, we got a few minutes here. Let's go ahead and kick her back. And let's fix that. So those are just a little bit too close. All right, good to know. So I did not have that problem the last time I built up to this the log camp in my previous game. So we're just gonna have to scooch this truck over, maybe probably about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. So that's okay. Live and learn. So maybe I can show you some track building tips here real quick. So I've gotten a little bit better at it. The more of it that I've done, the more comfortable I've gotten with it. Sometimes doing it on grades and doing it, trying to snake a track around the cliffside or something like that can be really frustrating. So, but just kind of open air build like this shouldn't be too bad. All right, let's hop out of here. Grab my tools. Notice that they put this thing in here just today where you can change or pick what it is that you're going to demolish. This is so cool. I mean, it is with one of these like little tiny quality of life things. And I was doing some building today trying to get to that iron mine. And it was absolutely a lifesaver compared to how it used to be. All right, so last time we were a little too close. So I think I had it. So I use a switch kind of as a ruler here because you get the rail, the stock rail right there. And if you line that up with the platform, you can do something that's really close to parallel. So let's try about out here. And what I want to do is test this, waste some cordwood here, and see if it drops in between the rails. So, ooh, no, we want to go out a little bit further, don't we? Okie dokie. Can do. Actually, that'll make this curve kind of gnarly here, but that's okay. Let's see, that looks about even. Let's go out to here. Try that. That looks a little bit further out. God, it seems so far, though. Nailed it. All right. We'll make it work. So these crossovers are great. You can throw down one of these little diamonds. That's what this is called, is a diamond. Not a crossover. That's okay. Don't worry about the terminology. So, but they're great because you can kind of use them as almost like nodes and skylines. You know, it's just something to lock onto and grab onto. And then some of this, when you do that and you drop one down, then you hit your left Alt key and you can just run straight off of that. So here I'm going to drop another one here, and I'll show you real quick. What you should do is grab one side. See how I got the little link right there? Click on that and grab the other side, click on that, and now I've got this. Well, I can't do it, but you can look up in the left-hand corner. I've got that orange piece there that says 3-foot rail. Now, right now, I can just free flex on this one, but if I hit my left Alt key, now it's stable and it's stuck. And so then you can use your Y and your X key to change your radius. And so everything on this railroad has been kept to an 18-degree radius or less. And looks like this will be no exception right here. So, but I just find that doing this like this, where you use the individual pieces, and here let's do some freehand work. I'll show you how that works. You just click on an end like here, you can get those little links up there, and then you can place it wherever you want, but it'll let you do crazy stuff like this too. And so as long as you kind of, if you have your road bed set out or laid out the right way, as long as you kind of stick in between the lines, so to speak, you can actually do fairly well with your radiuses too. And so I always check my curves, make sure they're nice and smooth. So that one looks pretty good. And then go in here, wipe out your diamonds in there. I guess you could leave them in. I don't know why you would do that. Because I mean, trains will still run over them and stuff. But so here we go. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. Actually, it might be a little bit easier because it's not going to be as sharp. of a curve as it was before. So actually what I'm going to want to do with this one, so usually when I do these, I try and do it in like multiples. And so like here, let me blow this up here real quick, show you what I mean by that. So whenever you build in a curve, just like on the 1-for-1 railroad, when you go from tangent track is straight track, into a curve, you think about your radius. And so unfortunately I've lost my little thing up there. That happens sometimes and I don't know why. Just it disappears on you. But if you go back and take out everything else and then do it again, sometimes it comes back. Now if I hit my left out, now see, it's not going to be there. Anyway, sometimes that little window goes away. It pisses me off because I like to know exactly what my my curve radius is, or my curvature, my degrees of curvature is. But right now I can just use a counting system. And so what I like to do is I like to do them in multiples of 6. All right, so I'll do 6, 12, and then 18. 18 being my maximum. And so we start out with the 6 degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that. And then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like that. Okay, and so when you build a curve like that, this is called a spiral. Okay, or sometimes I've heard it called an easement, or there's another word for it, transition. So it's called a transition curve. Okay, and so it's a curve that increases in sharpness as you lean into the curve. And so not only does that provide a great looking curve, so, which is what modelers care about, but it's also very prototypical because it allows your trains to kind of take sharper curves at speed. And so you should always do that if you can afford the room. And see, there's a little jiggy-jaggy in my curve right there, and I don't like those at all. So I do get picky about my curves, and there are some that just aren't going to work right. But then there are others that all it takes is just one more try and you got it. So let's see how this one turns out. And freehanding these is difficult. So that one actually looks pretty good. So, all right. Let's move the roadbed. And so, oh, this is so nice that you can just select what it is that you're deleting now, because I can click on the track and it doesn't disappear. It's great. So, thanks, devs. That is a great update. And let's see. And so in laying roadbed, wait for you to get to the little link and notice how it drops down like that. That's when you can click on there and it'll match up almost exactly to the height. And then I like to do the variable one. Most of the time. Did I do the variable one? I think I did the constant one. So I'm still getting a little bit. So when you're going up a hill or down a hill, you usually want to do the variable one because the contours of the hill can change. If you're on flat ground like this, you want to do the constant one because it'll even everything out for you over the long run. See, like that. Let's go ahead and run this all the way up to another link. I like to drop these wherever that link shows up, because that way when you delete them, you have something to work with, or you have something to grab onto. All right. Okay. So, ta-da! Construction 101, lesson over. Let's run some trains. And not waste cordwood, in theory. Probably need some more gas. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh! Left the door open, dumbass. Definitely need more gas. All right, here we go. So that's now you know our fire is fine. So here we go. Give me 2. Reverser forward and regulator on. You're supposed to turn on a cylinder cock too if your engine's been sitting there for a while. Someone on the YouTube's taught me that. This is not a thing on most locomotives that I've operated, and so it's kind of cool. So neat little detail, and it looks great. And oh my God, we just had a derailment right there. Check that out. Look at that. She's gonna try and get back on the track. So, all right. Stop that. So, and that is something you do have to watch out for whenever you're laying track. I like to run, oops. We want her facing the other way. Yep, that way. There we go. Oh, bummer. So something here is not happy. It's probably that little jiggy-jaggy right there. Let's go ahead and grab this flat car. Stick them there. I know it's like on the Steam site, some people have been having trouble with this re-rail tool. I think it's pretty easy to use as long as you're very specific about what you want. So get up in the car, click on it, and then get right on the rail and click on it where you want the rail to be. And so I bet you it's this little piece right here that got angry with me. And so sometimes you just have to run your cursor over it and look for it to pop a little bit, because there might be a little piece of rail in there that you deleted that you don't know about. And then when you're laying rail like this, be really careful not to click on these parts where you get that little link right there, because sometimes it'll snap into the ground. That took me a long time to learn. So let's just try this and see. It looks pretty smooth. Of course, that doesn't mean anything. It can be very deceiving. So we need a link there. I need to pull that link, and then you probably need a little bit of handbrake so you don't get any ideas trying to run away from me. You got a link, and you got a link, so take that link out. All right, here we go. Man, this run has definitely proven to be a little bit longer than I had hoped, but again, operating session. So hopefully you appreciate some of the commentary, some of the stories, and watching me jack things up here a little bit in case you ran into some things that you jacked up. It's not just you, man. So let's see. Seemed like it was right about there where the problem was, so I think we might have solved the issue, although that car just took a really funky, janky kind of hit right there. So let's back into this slowly. Give him a little shove. Not that much of a shove. A little bit more, so we can budge everybody up here, and then we're gonna pull out of here real slow and see if these cars have a little bumpity bump on the way back. So shunk, we're in, break off. There might be a little kink in the rail right there. And so usually when I build new rail, I run Betsy over it left and right, back and forward, just to make sure that everything is good. And I did not do that up here. Well, no, you just watched me build new rail. And so prior to that, it was fine. So let's see if there's any movement in the cars here as they go over this. Looks good. Looks good. That's just a little hunting on the part of the car. Trust me, if you got some funk in your track, you watch them, they'll jump. If you hit that at speed, you're going in the ground, on the ground. So, all right, let's see if we actually got. Oh, dang! Look at that. There's another one right here. That's frustrating. So, whoop. Don't get going too far. Be cool, man. Where is my... out and in. Let's go forward. Is it in front of me here? There's another one right here. Yeah, see, I'm hitting it right now. So let's go back. Let's try it again. So you're getting to see a little bit of troubleshooting on my part here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so something, I'm stopping right here. So there's some kind of blocking the rail right there. So let's go ahead and re-rail this car here. See if I can get him on the track. Oh, ooh, it just fits. Nice. Let's see. Pin. Take that out. Link. Is there a link in there? Link. Pin. Alright. Come on. Back. And let's go ahead and stitch these guys up here. Oh, damn it. Figures. Come on, shove in there. There we go. Alright, we're good. Oh, wait. Take brake off. Lefty loosey. Alright, let's back up a couple cars here. Because there is some funk in our track right there. So now I know that devs put out an update that is supposed to fix a lot of these things. And honestly, this is the only trouble that I've had with it all day. And that's okay by me. Let's go ahead. You know, and sometimes when you use those crossovers, the diamonds, in order to serve as kind of like guides, sometimes you do get, when you delete them, there'll be a little problem in the track there. And that's why it's really important to test your track before you take it at speed. So you can find those things without flying off the rails. Let's try this. Come on, you. Yeah, she is not as responsive as her sister. But it seemed like that issue was right about here. Or maybe it was a little sooner. Let's find out. So far, so good. Maybe this fish plate right here. Nope. Maybe this one here. Nope. Okay. I think we got it. So let's brake. Let's just ease on up here. Want that crane even with that one. That'll do. And here we go. The moment of truth. God, it seems far apart. So nailed it. All right. How many of these hold? These hold 8 of these. So it's 8. They're probably like $10 a piece, maybe 11. It's pretty good money. But so far so good. Here, we still have a little bit of track right here. Excuse me, to test. But I don't think it'll be too bad. Must be a heavy little train for this little engine. Fortunately, it's downhill. So come up the hill light, run down heavy. It's good that we have the engine on the head end. So that's how you want to do it if you don't have air brakes. Let the cars do the work. They'll push us around a little bit, but we'll be alright. Oh my goodness. Money, money, money. Alright. Just a few more here. Now, building an operation, you got to kind of think about not just what needs to go where, and there are some great tools there on the Steam store. Oh wait, maybe I overloaded that one. To kind of help you with that. But also thinking about, like, you know, kind of what kind of trains you want to run too. So personally, I like running trains that are kind of varied. Meaning that, you know, they're not just single unit trains. Although it would be kind of cool to run a coal train. But there'd have to be a reason for it. We'd actually have to justify that. And so I've been thinking about that, but we'll see exactly how much trackage, how kind of the trackage down by the smelter works out, because that's going to determine that as far as how we're going to run a coal train from the coal mine all the way down to the iron ore. What is it? Not the smelter, but the foundry. Which is a hike. Now, I've scouted out the coal route a little bit, and man, it is far. Now, I don't mind doing some open throttle running in this game, but we do want to be a little bit conscious of distance. And so I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit. If you have any suggestions on that one, let me know. So I've scouted out the kind of the route that the devs leave there for you. And I like it. It's pretty, but it's long. I've got the iron mine figured out. So, in fact, I should have that one done here soon. So I just have to figure out some of the trackage around the mine itself, and kind of exactly what how I want to run the trains that go in there. But we're almost there. The smelter is kind of a key point. So because it needs traffic from the iron mine, and it delivers traffic to the coal mine, and so it makes sense to kind of have it positioned between the two. But the place where it's positioned is kind of dangerous, because there is a track that you can take kind of from the iron mine all the way down to the coal mine, or I mean the smelter. But it's a trap. That track is way too steep for me. And so I found another way to get over there that is, I don't know, I think it's pretty clever. But some people wouldn't like it, because absolutely it's going to take a little bit longer. But that's okay. All right, here we go. We're loaded up, ready to go. So let's give the boys some bell. Give me 2. Brakes off. Reverse forward. And here we go. Oh, wait. We need to be cool here, man. So, brake off. Set that. Almost forgot about my switch. That would have been fun. So we will catch her down here at the switch. So, see, the cool thing about a balloon track is that you only have to throw the switch once. So, and that's when you leave. Alright, so because when we come in, we can come in this way, we can come in this way, it doesn't matter. So, ooh, man, look at that. Picking up some speed already. So, yeah, so this is a 2% downgrade, and this is a heavy train right here. So we're going to put a little bit of brake on here, just for safety's sake. So this will bunch up all the slack behind us here. And then we'll slowly spool it out as we come around this corner by kicking the brakes off right about now. And adding a little bit of speed. And that'll start stretching our train out as we come through this corner. And that'll keep us from breaking pins. Although this is only, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 8 cars? I don't think we'd break a pin on this. So now, in the future, when we run a train that's double this size, that's entirely possible. And so we'll have to be cool about that. So we're going to head straight up here, right up to the log pond. Our switch should still be lined in the correct direction. So, because there's no jerks running around on my railroad, lining and locking my switches for other than main track movement. So I'm not saying that people on the server would do that. People in real life certainly do that. So, you know, especially farmers who think they're clever. So, but it's also something we don't necessarily have to worry about in this game. So, although you should get in the habit of lining your switches back behind you. So, it's just a good habit to have. So that way, you have an expected direction in which the switch is lined. And then you can plan moves around that. But I get it. Sometimes people just don't want to get off the train. So that makes you no different than most other engineers. Don't worry about it. So if you got a conductor, make him do it. If you got a brakie, make him do it for sure. So on your crew. So here we go, coming in. So let's let the boys know we're coming. And technically this is a loading dock, so I'll give it a little bit of bell. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop off the log cars here. And then we'll go out this way, and then we'll back in and grab these things, and we'll highball all the way down to the depot. So, bell. So, ooh, man, this train's a little sluggish. So those cars are pushing me around a little bit, though. So that's okay. You let the train do the work. Let the train do the work. Use your momentum. So spool it out carefully. Let's see. We got 5 of these cars. We can line them up. Ooh, stopping almost on a dime right there. All right, that's good. 1, 2, brake set. And this is what I want to do. I want to set this handbrake. Righty-tighty. There we go. Pull that pin, and let's drop some logs here. Let's see if I got them all. Yep, looks like it. Nice. Nice. All right, and we'll just leave these here. And so when this train's done, run all the way down to the depot. I don't know if we're going to turn around down there or run the engine around and back in the yard or something, or maybe we'll start backing in. That should be okay on the way back. But then we'll run right back in here, drop those cars off, have these bulkhead flats on the head end, right back down there, knuckle in, off we go again. Rinse and repeat. So that'll be this train's route. For the foreseeable future. Let's see, I got a switch up there, I got a line. So let's go ahead and get a little bit more gas on the fire here. Oh, close the door. And let's go ahead and line this forward. Open up the cylinder cock. Give me that. 2. And I don't know, I can't, my little thing isn't on here, so I'm a little nervous about opening this up too far and then getting out. That looks good. Alright, let's go line that switch. Oof, can't see. Sorry, man, you gotta die. Where is the switch? Oh, it's way over here. Yeah, that's alright. Man, this thing's a little further down here than I thought it was. We might have to do some realignment around here. So it pays to be picky about your check. So yeah, this is almost all the way to the yard. So this is a little bit longer than I thought it was. It's probably because I was trying to maintain a radius on the curve here. Here she comes. Let's go ahead and, you know, you're not supposed to get on moving equipment. So that's okay. F key means leading foot, right? Oh, when I hit the F key, actually all this stuff sets back to 0, doesn't it? So we got our 3 cars here. Let's go ahead and give me some brake. And we should be lined for main track. We are not. Let's go ahead and do that while we're here. Lined for main track. Lined. Lined. And hopefully that guy way down there is line 2. Can't see that far. That's okay. Everything here is good though. Just gotta flip this switch. Okay. Nope. Yep. Wind it back into the lumber docks here. Here we go. All right. Oh, look at that. The car shop jacked this one up. Check that out. So, idiots. So, silly car shop. That's okay. My yard, car guys were some of the coolest guys there. They had a pretty cool gig. All they did all day long was usually air tests. Every now and then they got a wrench on a car. But most of the time, all they did was speed around on little ATVs, do air tests. Every now and then they did something cool. I got to see them jack up a car once using 2x4s. It was actually pretty interesting. So there's a little dance to it. I bet you there's a good YouTube video on that somewhere. So I'll have to see if I can find one. It's really hard to explain how they do it, but once they get going on it, it's kind of like, oh, that makes sense. It's kind of like playing Tetris. It's like, oh, now I get it. So, but our car guys are really cool. That one does not have a beam on it. Must have jacked something up. Let's go ahead and knuckle into these guys. Here, this one should have a... come on, give him a little shove. Should have a link on it. Let's go see. Yep. Shrink. But you do not have a beam. You must not hit the button. Let's see. You do now have a brake right here, though. Brake set. Yep. Lefty loosey. There we go. All right. Look at this. Money, money, money. This is a money train right here. This is all revenue service. So, all right. Time to highball. Come on. All right. We're at a platform. Reverse or forward. Brake off. Regulator. Open her up. Oh, this poor little engine. It's like, man, this is a heavy train. What are you doing to me? Come on. Come on. Come on. Look at that. Just slowly going. It's like, oh, man. Oh, I love the noises in this game. It's beautiful. So, it's okay. She's going now. Here we go. That is a lot of train for a little engine. I love it. So, she's like, no problem, no problem. Once we get going, we're doing just fine. So, this is half throttle. And so, in we go. Our switches are lined and locked. We are highball all the way for the depot. We're going to scream right through the yard here. I gotta tell you, just the visuals in this game are cool. It is just fun to watch. Just do some train watching in this game too. So, God, I like the headlight a lot on this one. They look so real. Look absolutely excellent. So here we go, right into the yard. Line for main track. Line for main track. Line for main track. Line for main track. We're good. So, but yeah, you get a good shot of my yard throat right here. So we got a crossover here that goes into the departure track, and then this right here, this is my yard ladder. This is my engine facility over here. And so I think I've got a pretty good functional yard. So it might be a little short, but it's okay. We can lengthen it out in the future if we need to. This part here, this is the important part, the throat. If you get that right, then you can make it as long as you want. It'll always do what it's supposed to do. So let's see, we're good on fuel. We're gonna have to hit water when we come back. So, but for right now, we got revenue freight, and so we're gonna highball. So let's see, line for main track, line for main track. We're good. So this is the Y. Eventually, this is gonna be a junction, and I might have this one angled incorrectly here. But this is actually gonna run all the way down to all the businesses that are down there. And then the depot is just going to be a branch off this, because I figure anything that's going to the depot is just a destination. And so, although I don't know, maybe I'll use this track, and then, you know, I haven't fully made up my mind about that Y just quite yet. We might just run on this and then have a track that goes by on either side of the depot, almost like a passing siding where it's in between them. And that might be a good setup too, if we need to make some money. So, but this train's going to be a money train. So, and then we'll have to figure out what's next. So as soon as we get the trackage done down to the smelter and up to the mine, which is almost done, so the hard part is done. And so there'll be videos coming out on that in the next couple days, hopefully. If you like watching those speed builds. Actually, look at this. This is not lined, and so we need to actually bring her down here. So we can actually take that off. Give me just a little bit. I'll go up there and grab the switch. So we need to go into the track for the depot. So, you know, one of the obscure rules on the railroad, you're not supposed to get on the side of the train that actually has a switch stand. So there's a little thing that if you didn't know, now you do. So it's one of the many, many obscure rules. So either in the NORAC or the G-Corps. So maybe we'll talk about those at some point in time. So actually run a safe railroad here. So coming in. Let's let the boys know we're coming. And ease off. Come in nice and slow here. Crossing platform, men and equipment. Got to use the bell. So if you didn't know that, that's when you use your bell. So most modern locomotives, as soon as you hit the whistle, the bell will trigger. So maybe not some of the older switchers and things like that, but I guarantee anything with 6 axles on it, that's how it works. At least any one that I've ever seen. Alright, let's go ahead and give her a little break here. These cars are going to push us around a little bit, and we're not going to take it anymore. So, here we go. Alright. So, let's see. So, $14.81, and so we got about $300. Well, we got, yeah, $300 out of the logs. And then so $14.81, let's go ahead and start unloading these. We're getting revenue for that? Yes, sir. Unload all the things. All the things. All the things. So it was $11.81. Oop. Ooh, we're going to run out of track here, aren't we? Check that out. We got a big enough train here. We're going to run out of track. Oh, goody. I get to murder some trees. It's a favorite pastime of mine in this game. It's yeah, wah, wah, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and lay down some more track here because we're going to run out of track. Constant grade. Right in the middle. Give it about, no, sure. Looks good. Let's see. Watch me derail on this. Might be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You never know. Let's go ahead and drop that and then that. Hit my Alt key. Straight as an arrow, Homer. There we go. Go ahead and take you out. Now let's see. We might as well pull forward like 6 or 7. There we go. Brakes release. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more cars. So ahead 5. Forward 5. Forward 3. Easy does it. 2 more. 1 more. Half car. That'll do. Brake set. And that will conclude a long day of railroading here, which included a little bit of operational route planning, a little bit of concept building, a little bit of section gang work, some track maintenance, and a few stories from the old days. So, but that'll do it for our lumber local here today. So it's been a heck of a run. It's been interesting. We made some mistakes, but we also learned some things, and we made a decent amount of money. Let's check that out before we cut out here. So 2145, that's almost $1,000 train. So I love it. So we only have to run a couple more of these, and we'll actually have enough to buy that next engine, which of course is going to be the Mogul, and that'll get us up to the mines and down to the smelter, and that'll be a fun scenic run. I hope to see you there for that one. Thanks for sticking with me. If you enjoyed the video and if you joined the series, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions for me, please drop them down there in the comments. I'd be happy to address them. But that'll do for tonight. So I hope you like the long form content, and we'll be back with some more. So maybe some more of these, another ride along, and then some build videos here real soon. So hope to see you there. Take care now. Have a good night. Bye.